Greetings, students. Welcome to Intro to Ethnic Studies 35 and Ethnic Studies 34. This is your week 1 recording, and it will cover the basics of getting started with this course. Again, this is for Intro to Black and African American Studies and Intro to Chicana Studies. In the summer of 2023, my name is Dr. Hollinside. You can call me Dr. H, and I'm so excited to guide you through our 6-week course. So let's go. Your week 1 recording will focus on the following items: how to navigate your Canvas page, our course syllabus, your Canvas modules, your weekly assignments, and your grading scale. As we get started with our course, it's really important that we build community with our fellow students. So I welcome you wholeheartedly to our very unique online class community. As we go forward with the summer, my goal is to make sure that you all feel welcome, valued, included, validated, supported, and important. And as such, it is critical that you make others feel the same way. You're going to be sharing a lot about your own personal experiences. You're going to be learning from each other. And it's really important that we always keep in mind to be as respectful as possible, as open as possible to others' ideas, and to be honest as we share our own experiences, because that's what makes this class so special. So welcome to our classroom community. So, I thought it might be meaningful for you to know a little bit about myself, because I'm going to be asking all about who you are. So, this is a little snapshot of my life that I'm going to go through really quickly so that you can have an idea of who your professor is as we get started. So, if you look at the picture right underneath who am I, you'll see a picture of me when I was about 4 years old and my mother. This is a passport photo from when we went to Bogota, Colombia, to adopt my little brother. That's my youngest picture on this page. If you look down from that picture, you'll see a tropical lushness. That is the island of Puerto Rico. That is a town called Peñuelas that overlooks the southern part of the island where my family is from. However, I was born in New York City, and you can see the little sunset picture. That's the edge of New York City. So that is very near and dear to my heart. I am a proud Afro-Latina, Afro-Boricua, Afro-Puerto Rican. I'm Black and Puerto Rican, and I'm very proud of it. If you look up, you'll see that picture of myself and my kids when they were little. I love everything about being a mom. They're grown now, but I always love to share pictures from when they were little babies. If you look to the very bottom where it says the 80 Bunch, you will see me and my full family, my husband, my kids, and my stepkids. So there's 6 kids all together. It's a very big family, and everybody's grown. So they're not babies anymore, but they'll always be my babies. If you look in the very middle, that's a picture of my girls group. I'm the creative director of a nonprofit called Sisters of Nia. It's an African-centered after-school program for girls. We've been running in Sac City for about 14 years now. I'm very proud to work with this youth group and to have grown for quite a long time. So I am a volunteer in my community, and I love to do that. Up at the top in the black and white, you see a picture of me with a mic. That's because I'm a singer. I sing reggae music. I might let you hear some of my music during the course of the semester. But yeah, I love reggae. I love all music. I'm an original hip hop head also. So, I go way back from the 80s. So I love hip hop. I love reggae. I love R&B. I love music in general. If you look in the middle, you'll see an ethnic studies poster that says "Fight for Ethnic Studies, no history, no self." But if you know history, then you know yourself. I've been teaching ethnic studies for about 30 years now in a variety of different classrooms and formats. I believe in power to the people. I love working with diverse groups of people and learning and empowering each other as people of color and as people in general, as human beings. And I believe ethnic studies can make this world a better place. If you look at the top, you'll see a picture of a quote that says, "Keep me away from the wisdom which does not cry, the philosophy which does not laugh, and the greatness which does not bow before children." That's a quote from Khalil Gibran. I have dedicated my life towards working with kids. I actually taught high school for 18 years before I became a professor. I now work at Sac City College, Delta College, and Sacramento State. I'm full time at Delta College, adjunct at both Sac State and Sac City College. And I am also a graduate of Sac City College as a community college. So I'm a community college graduate who went on to get my degree in ethnic studies from Sacramento State and a master's in bilingual and multicultural education from Sac State, and my doctorate of educational leadership, which you see in this picture here, that very important day when I became a doctor of education. And that's a picture of me down at the bottom as well. So now you know a little bit about me in a nutshell. And I look forward to learning much more about you as well. Okay, moving on. Let's get started with our Canvas homepage. I hope that you all have access to Canvas. I assume that you do if you're watching this video. But if you have any problems with your Canvas page, please email me ASAP because we got to get that squared before we go any further. Everything that you're going to need is going to be through Canvas. And I'll say this at the get-go: it's really better for you to access Canvas through your laptop rather than your phone. I know some of you may try to access Canvas totally through your phone, and I know that that will be challenging. So I really advise you to either use your own personal laptop or check out a laptop through the school if possible. If you need information on how to do that, holla at me quickly, ASAP, so that we can get started on the right foot. But on your homepage, and these are a few examples of different Canvas homepage, you can see at the top it says home. This is where you will see my little greetings to you. It also has information that contains my email address, information about how to contact me, what's the best way to contact me. There's a link to a different format of a syllabus if you want to see a different form of the syllabus that we'll be using this semester. But this is basically our home page, home base, the first page that you should see when you open up Canvas. This is a continuation of the bottom section of the Canvas homepage, as I mentioned, that has all of my contact information. I will say this: it is always best to email me if you have questions, if you are unable for whatever reason to submit an assignment. I need communication, and I really appreciate and value your communication with me. And I will try to get back with you ASAP if you email me. I normally am on my email all day long, so I'll try to get back with you immediately or as soon as possible, right? You can also text me in the case of an emergency. But I prefer emails unless it's a really big emergency. Email me. And again, this is the best means of communication in this course. I will also have office hours available upon request. So if you have an issue that you need to discuss with me, if you need me to explain an assignment, we can also set up the opportunity in the morning to meet via Zoom online. I am here for you. Your success is my success, so I am completely accessible to you. Just reach out and let me know. Your course syllabus is located right underneath the Home tab on Canvas. It has more detailed information about the course, the grades breakdown, what you need to know as far as contacting special services, the expectations for your participation in the class, and then a really detailed breakdown from week to week about the types of assignments that you will be responsible for. But everything that you need to know is also located in Canvas. So you don't necessarily have to look at the syllabus all the time, because everything that you need is going to be presented through your Canvas modules and your Canvas assignments. So the course syllabus is there as a guide, but again, you will always be able to know exactly what you're doing week to week through Canvas modules. So please get used to using the modules tab, and I'm going to explain how to do that next. Your syllabus link will lead you to this document. It is a PDF of your syllabus. It might look a little different than the typical black and white syllabus, but I do that on purpose because I love art and visuals, and you will see a lot of that integrated in this course. So, for example, if you are enrolled in Ethnic Studies 35, this is your summer syllabus. There's a lot more information than this, but this is just a screenshot of the cover page. And also, you will see an example of how your weeks break down. So, this is the week one, module one page. It lasts from Monday, June 12th to Sunday, June 18th. And you can explore this in much more detail, but I just wanted to give you just a little hint of what you will find if you actually navigate the course syllabus page. And here is the example of the Ethnic Studies 34 Intro to Chicana, Chicano Studies syllabus. It is the same exact format as the Ethnic Studies 35 syllabus. You will find all of the details of each of our 6 weeks in this syllabus. I feel it important to remind you of the course dates for the summer. Again, this is a 6-week course, a very short, fast paced summer session, which extends from June 12th to July 23rd. All of your assignments, including your final, which I'll explain in a moment, are due by July 23rd. And I want to remind you that this is a 6-week course, which is a traditional full semester course. So you will find that there is a lot of information packed into each week to help accommodate what is traditionally a 17-week semester. So I'm not trying to overwhelm you with assignments on a week-to-week basis, but the nature of a summer course is a lot more fast-paced than a traditional semester course. So I need you to keep this in mind and to be ready, and to also be very effective in your time management so that you're able to keep up with all of the assignments on a week-to-week basis. And if you have any questions or concerns about this, email me as soon as possible. The next item of importance is your announcements tab. Now, I will be communicating with you on a weekly basis via your announcements tag. So if you are somebody who does not frequently check your Canvas announcements or your emails, I encourage you to do so, or learn how to get into the habit of doing so ASAP. It's because if there's any changes to the weekly content, any updates, announcements for extra credit, etc., I will be emailing you via announcements. So please get in the habit of checking your announcements at the beginning of the week for sure, because I always send out a welcome to week 2, week 3, week 4, etc. announcement. And then also just pay attention to your emails. I find that not every student does so consistently, and sometimes that's to your detriment. So, announcements is another tab that you should look out for. Canvas modules is found right underneath the syllabus tab. So, you will be using this tab to find your weekly readings, your weekly videos, Your assignments, like your discussion posts, your journal activities, everything that you need on a weekly basis is located in modules. And I don't know if you're familiar with using modules from other courses, but for the purpose of my course, everything is broken down on a weekly basis through this tab. If you have any questions about this, please email me and let me know. At the very top of the modules page, you'll see a welcome module that has a bunch of different resources for learning how to navigate Canvas. Some of us are brand new to Canvas. Some of us are first time students this semester or this year. And so it's a learning process. And I understand that and I appreciate that. There are no assignments in this very first module. It really has to do with how to get started with Canvas and online learning, how to manage all of your courses online, tech support if you need resources, and how to navigate technical issues, which is very important, right? Now, some of you are pros and you're old timers, you're OGs with Canvas. That's fine. But just in case you need to utilize any of the information in this module, please do so. It's important that you familiarize yourself because this is really the basis for online learning. Okay, so there's no actual assignment. You're not getting credit for reading through that initial module, but it is for your benefit if you need it. When you open up a given module, for example, this is the week 1 module, or MO1. MO means module 1. Week 1, you'll see the dates. So this is the week of 6/12 through 6/18. And you'll see two different themes. One is the origin of ethnic studies. And if you are in the Ethnic Studies 35 course, you'll see Black and African American identity. Or if you are in the Chicano Studies course, you will see the Chicano movement theme. So, what I want you to understand is that each week is broken into two parts, and I'll explain the rationale for that. But what I want to mention on this page is that you will see the intro video, which I'm assuming you found because you're watching this recording right now, and it says watch this first. Then you'll see your week 1 readings that say due by 6/18. So you've got to complete them long before 6/18. Don't start reading them on the Sunday. That's a Sunday. I hope that you will begin your reading immediately every Monday when I release new modules. Again, I will release new modules. You will have them ready for you. I try to aim for Sunday evening, but definitely by Monday morning, you will have your new weekly module posted. So back to this module little snapshot. You'll see your week 1 readings. You'll see your week 1 videos. And then you'll also see a list of your assignments that are due. And I'm going to break that down a little bit further on in this recording. But for now, I just want you to be sure you understand everything you need on a weekly basis is very neatly organized by week. There are 2 parts to every single week, and I'll explain that in the next slide. Okay, so I don't want you to get thrown off by part 1 and part 2. Let me just explain that each week is divided into 2 parts. And the rationale behind that is, as I mentioned previously, we are fitting 17 weeks into a 6-week summer session. So, to make sense of the various themes, the many themes, I thought it might be appropriate to organize each week into 2 different parts. They both must be completed within the same week, but it just helps group the information, the readings, and the videos by theme. So, part 1 will be focused on origins of ethnic studies. Your readings and your videos all fall underneath that theme. And then part 2 will be, well, if you're in the Ethnics 35 class, again, this video is for 2 different course sessions. And if you're in the Ethnic Studies 34 course, your module 1 will look a little bit different, but the format is exactly the same. Just the information will be different. But the second theme of the week for this course is Black and African American identity. So your part 2 readings and videos will have to do with the second theme. And then directly underneath that, you'll see the assignments that are due in this given week, which I will explain in the next few slides. But I don't want anybody to be confused. There are always part 1 and part 2 embedded every week. And I hope that this serves to help you organize your readings and your video watching and your homework so that you get it done promptly. I highly advise you not to wait until the weekend to begin your homework or to begin your assignments, because I don't want anybody to become overwhelmed by the amount of reading or videos and assignments on a weekly basis. I believe in you all. I believe that every one of you has the capacity to be successful in this course, but it definitely entails time management and strong organization. This is an example of what you'll see when you click on the weekly readings tab. It'll be divided either part 1 or part 2, and by now you understand what that means. But it'll always say week 1, week 2, week 3, whatever week it is, to complete by midnight Sunday. That's always the due date for all assignments. So get that in your head, that Sunday at midnight is the deadline for any given week's readings, videos, or assignments. Sometimes in your readings tab, I will just upload the entire article for you to read. That eliminates having to navigate to a different website. But sometimes I will put the link to a website, so you might have to navigate a different website. And we also utilize from time to time book chapters from an online book that I will have available for you. So just understand, you did not need to purchase any textbooks for this course. It is a zero cost textbook course, which means that I provide all of your resources for you, and you will find all of your readings through your weekly readings tabs. And if you ever have any problems connecting to one of the websites or downloading one of the articles or one of the text chapters, let me know and I will navigate and troubleshoot for you as soon as I can to make sure that you have access to the readings. But again, all of your weekly readings will be available every Sunday for the new week, so that you can get started. In addition to your weekly readings, you will also have videos to watch. I'm a very visual person, so I believe that it's important to switch it up, and you can gain valuable information from the videos that I share as well. And I don't record my lectures. I would much rather that you focus on the content itself. So, most of your time will be spent engaging in the readings, watching the very specific videos for the weekly content, and then completing your homework assignments. But every weekly video will have a link predominantly to YouTube videos, sometimes a few others, but I predominantly use YouTube to help us support our weekly themes. So you will need to be utilizing a device that will allow you to watch YouTube videos. All right, we're moving along. Now let's talk about your weekly assignments. Every single week, you will have 3 different assignments to accomplish. The first one is your discussion post, which I'll explain in a moment. The next one is your reading or video reflection. And the third is a Google activity. That allows us to be a little bit artistic, allows us to have more of a visual and creative way of explaining what we learned that week. And all of your weekly assignments can be found in both your modules tab and or your assignments tab on Canvas. So if you go to the assignments tab in your Canvas menu, which is always to the left hand side of your Canvas page, you will see your assignments group on a weekly basis or on a module basis. So, for example, week one is always the same thing as module one or MO1. So, get used to seeing that MO. It might look a little weird at first if you're not used to it, but MO means module one, which is the same thing as module or week one, right? And then if you see MO2, it's the same thing as week two, MO3, same thing as week three. We'll get used to it, right? But you'll always see the same three types of assignments, but the content will vary from week to week. And certain weeks will have quizzes, and you'll see a quiz included in this list. And I'll tell you when your quizzes are going to be in a minute. I include the due date after every single assignment, but you'll also get into the habit of knowing that homework is always due by midnight on Sunday of any given week. The one exception for that are your discussion posts, where you will be responding to a series of questions about your weekly videos or readings. And for the discussion post, I want to make it clear and kind of break it down. I always ask that you submit your initial post by Friday night, because the other part of your discussion post has to do with you viewing other people's responses and commenting on other people's posts. This is how we establish communication and conversation or dialogue in this course, even though we don't meet together in person. And I'm going to explain that a little bit more in detail in the upcoming slide. But nothing is due, like has an exact due date of Friday. I just encourage you to post the first part of your discussion post by Friday so that people over the weekend have the opportunity to read what you wrote and respond to it. But the hard deadline, if you will, every single week is always Sunday by midnight. And if you have any circumstance which is preventing you from turning in an assignment by that due date, just holler at me. Just email me and let me know. Explain what's going on, and we'll work something out. But I need you to communicate with me so that I understand why you haven't turned in a particular assignment by Sunday night. And this is just a close up of what your weekly assignments look like in modules. So MO1 assignments, week one assignments, you have your discussion post number one, due Sunday, 6:18 by midnight. You have your reading and video reflection number one, due Sunday night at midnight. And you have a student slideshow due Sunday. This is the only one that's actually due on the 25th. I give you a little bit more time because it's kind of like our way of introducing ourselves to our fellow classmates. I'm going to explain the assignments in a second. But each assignment, if you click on it, has very specific details. I want to walk you through every single assignment so that there is no confusion. If you are confused or don't get it, you know what to do. Just email me, right? It's no problem. But I really try to break it down for you so that it's super clear. All right, so now we're going to get into your specific assignments. You will always do a weekly discussion post. It's worth 20 points. So the very first discussion post that you're going to do for module one or week one has to do with an exploration of identity, of the way you feel about your own identity and the facets of what makes you who you are, and also how you feel about the identity of others. Let me explain that each discussion post has a part one and a part two. Part one is the explanation of what you need to do to complete your discussion post. That means the response that you will be typing right into a text box on the discussion post page and hitting submit. And then after you hit submit, Whatever you write will be available for your classmates to read and to respond to. I'm telling you this, and it's important that you understand this, that whatever you type is public viewing property, okay? So please be mindful, please be respectful, please understand that the things that you type are can be sensitive to others. We always appreciate your honesty, and we want you to feel free and comfortable and secure and safe to speak honestly. But what we will not tolerate is disrespect or discrimination or any harmful comments that might be made in response to somebody who you may not agree with. So if you disagree with whatever somebody wrote, I encourage you to be very professional at all times and to be responsible, that you are not saying something that can hurt somebody's feelings. If you disagree, I expect that as adults, we can do so tactfully, and that we do so with the understanding that everybody has the right to feel however they want to feel, or however they've experienced. And I think we won't have any problems as we move forward with that understanding. Now, we will be discussing some very uh, difficult topics, some topics that are triggering, some topics that are emotional, and that might be a little bit hard for some of us to really navigate. But again, we are establishing a classroom community in which everyone's voice is equally important. And as such, when I'm reading your dialogue back and forth with each other, I expect the highest levels of courtesy and respect towards one another. For your module one discussion post, you're going to do something a little bit different. You are going to take an identity survey that explores the facet of your own identity and also how you feel about the facets of the people around you. Now, this is an anonymous survey. You do not enter your name. This helps you to feel free to answer honestly and confidentially. I will not know who took this survey individually. But afterwards, I will compile all of the data and I will share it with you, because it's really interesting once we generate everybody's response into pie charts and graphs that help you see how everybody feels. But part one of your first discussion post, it actually relies on you completing your identity survey, and then you're going to answer certain questions about the survey, and you're going to post them online to the discussion post. This is all a part of part one. Again, to remind you, I ask that you complete this by Friday night, because in part two, you have to read other people's responses and comment on them. It's almost, like an online discussion board where you can view each other's responses and comment on them. But part one is worth 15 points. So, or total. So you have the opportunity to earn 15 points by completing part one. And I encourage you to get that done by Friday night. Part two of any discussion post entails you reading each other's responses. You can read as many responses as you like. As a matter of fact, I highly encourage you to read as many of your fellow students' responses to see how other people think and feel and react to the discussion post prompt. But not only are you going to be reading other people's responses, but you are also going to be commenting on two other responses. So I'm asking you to write maybe two or three sentences that connect with somebody else, that supplement what somebody else said. Sometimes you might agree with somebody else. Sometimes you might learn something interesting from somebody else. But it's important that you understand that each discussion post is worth 20 points. 15 points is for your 2 to 3 paragraphs response to whatever the prompt is. And then the additional 5 points is you responding to two other students. Those responses are worth 2.5 points each for a total of 5 points, and the entire discussion post is worth 20 points total. If you fail to respond to two other students, then you're only going to be able to get a 15-point highest score. So it's important that you always remember, take the time to respond sensitively and meaningfully to two other students. I'm including for your benefit an example of what a strong discussion post looks like. I'm not going to read it word for word. You can push pause on this recording and read the whole thing if you'd like. But a strong discussion post is 2 to 3 detailed paragraphs, not a couple of sentences. I will be able to tell very quickly if your post actually covers a wide range of the readings or of the videos, or if you only watch 5 minutes of it and only focus on that specific 5 minutes. I'll be able to tell. So I want you to, in your discussion posts, not give me a summary of what you watched or what you read. That is not what the discussion post is about. The discussion post should be your analysis of the information that you learned. How does it make you feel? What stands out to you? What may shock you or upset you or have some type of deep impact on the way that you feel or think or what you know? I do not want to see facts that just recap everything that you just read. I understand some courses call for that, but this is not one of those courses. This is a course that encourages critical thinking, and through your discussion posts, I want to see examples of you thinking and learning critically. I do have to say that your work has to be your original work. That means that you can't go online and copy and paste from some website or utilize an AI source to post your discussion post. Most of the time, it's pretty easy for me to see if a student copies and pastes from some various website and just, submits it. I will be checking for plagiarism. So if you do that, it's going to flag. And I will give you warning that this is not appropriate college level behavior and you should know better. And, copying and pasting does not prove to me that you're actually learning. I want to know what your mind is generating. I'm not looking for a picture perfect answer. As a matter of fact, a lot of our responses are open ended. So there isn't necessarily a right and a wrong answer. You have to prove that you're thinking critically about the totality of the videos that you watch and the reading that you encounter. Okay. But not a summation of details from the chapter. That is not what I'm looking for. I also want to tell you that I am aware that sometimes people will read somebody else's discussion post, and sometimes people even copy somebody else's work. Again, I will shut that down. If you get caught plagiarizing someone else's work, it's not a good look and it's not going to end up good for you. So let's just get in the habit of trusting our own voice, our writing. You don't have to be a perfect writer. I'm not looking for perfection in structure. I am looking to make sure that you are analyzing to the best of your ability. I'm also including an example of a non-example. In other words, this is what you don't do in a discussion post, okay? I am not trying to see text talk or, acronyms or LOLs or IDKs or anything like that in your writing. While you don't have to be a perfect writer, you do have to try your best to make it college level and college appropriate. So what do I mean by that? No lowercase i's. I will be commenting if you give me lowercase i's, if you forget periods, if you don't use proper punctuation, if you're not capitalizing proper nouns. Like in this example, this is somebody who, wrote the word Columbus or the name Columbus, it's lowercase, wrote the word, let me see, what's another example? The Spanish, and that's not capitals. You really have to give effort and proofread and revise each paragraph that you write. Make it an example of your most quality work, highest quality work, so that, when other people read it, they're able to understand it and comprehend it. And so that it's a shining example of who you are as a professional in a college course. Okay. So we're going to work on this. And I can tell if you do it in a rush or if you actually put some thought into writing your example. Okay. A strong paragraph is not one sentence, y'all. It's not two sentences. At least 3 or 4 detailed sentences in a paragraph that give a great, well-rounded example of your analysis of the content. All right. Use capitals, grammars, and punctuation mark to the best of your ability. Moving on to your next type of assignment, you will always have a weekly reading or video reflection. They are also worth 20 points. For example, this is your module 1 reading or video reflection. You will be expected this week to complete your readings and your videos. And in your reflection, you're typing online into the text entry box, which is on every single reading reflection assignment page. But in this assignment, it's coming straight to me. This is not an assignment that you are sharing with the rest of your classmates. So I'm going to ask you some more specific questions, different than what you write in your discussion post, that help me understand that you are fully navigating and comprehending the totality of the week's content. And I always expect that you're going to write again 2 or 3 really strong paragraphs that help me feel secure that you understand and comprehend that week's material. But this is a personal reflection that you share with me only, and it's a little different than the discussion post. Nevertheless, they are always worth 20 points as well. And I say again, do not just recap information from the readings. I don't want to see dates. I don't want to see, specific excerpts that are copied and pasted from your readings or from your videos. I want your reactions and your perceptions and perspectives, opinions and feelings about the content. And every reflection will have very specific instructions. I try to switch it up so you're not doing the same assignment every single week, but pay close attention to the instructions and you'll be fine. I already said this twice, but I'm saying it one more time. Discussion post and reflection reminder: do not reiterate or restate facts of information from your readings and videos. I think you get it by this point, right? I think you get it. But if you need me to tell you one more time, your analysis, response, reactions to, and opinions of our course content is critical to your success in this class. All right, I'm done saying it. I think you all get it. Your third weekly assignment is a Google activity, which is worth 20 points as well. So, for example, your Module 1 assignment activity is a student slideshow that's not due on the 18th. It's due on the 25th, just to give you a little bit more time. But for this activity, you're going to be accessing a Google slide deck, and we will use this platform every week to help just give a little variety to the ways that we complete assignments. And again, this allows us to be a little creative, use artwork, and analyze pictures and photos and art in just some different ways. all of the instructions that you need to complete your student slideshow are in the module underneath this assignment. I'll explain just a little bit. The student slideshow allows you to create a slide in which you explain who you are, just kind of like the slide that I made at the beginning of this video. So you're going to be adding personal pictures, a little explanation of who you are, your background, your favorite things, etc. All the instructions are there for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But this will help you just get to know your classmates, because we don't get to see each other in person. So this will kind of serve as a platform for you to know who is it that you're going to be talking to every week. Who's the discussion post, who's behind the discussion post that you're reading, right? And it's just a fun way of sharing who you are with the class. So let's talk about your quizzes. During the 6-week summer course, you will have 3 total quizzes. Quiz 1 is worth 50 points. It will cover your first couple weeks of the course. It is due June 25th, which is a Sunday. Quiz number 2 is also worth 50 points. It will cover the second portion of content of the course. That one's due July 16th, which is a Sunday. And your final quiz is worth 100 points. It is cumulative, and it is due on the final day of class. That's July 23rd. There are no exceptions for late submissions for your quiz. If you don't complete your final quiz, you pretty much won't pass this class. So it's critical that you are not missing any of these quizzes, because 50 points is a lot of points. I mean, it's the difference between an A and a C in many cases. It will really drop your grade, impact your grade negatively if you do not complete a quiz. But I don't want you to stress off of your quizzes. Why? Because they are multiple choice. They are open notes. You will always have the opportunity to prepare and to use all of the assignments that we've done in this course to help you with your quizzes. They're untimed, so you don't have to feel stressed when you're taking it. And you can retake the quiz if you don't feel like you did as good as you needed to do, right? So there is no reason to stress off of the quizzes in this course, okay? My goal is not to trick you, not to make you feel stressed out. I do want to know that you are really comprehending the course content. That's important. But nobody should have to feel nervous about taking a quiz. It's something that just exemplifies your learning, but it is not something to impact your health negatively, okay? And you'll be fine. I know that you will have a successful outcome if you're paying attention week to week. If you're completing your assignments, then you will do great on these quizzes. So what I put together here for you is a little snapshot that might help you organize your time management during the weeks of the summer course. And this is give or take, okay? But any college course you're pretty much required to give 54 hours approximately of your time towards your reading, your work completion, your studying, your exams, etc. In this course, how does it break down? Well, because it is summer and because this is an accelerated course, you can expect to be devoting approximately maybe one, not necessarily two, but up to 2 hours a week with your reading. Watching the videos, I try to choose very short videos, 20 minutes or less. Most of them are 10 minutes or something like that. I know that attention spans run short. So I try not to give you videos that are super long. As a matter of fact, this video might be one of the longest videos that you have all summer, but it's just because there's so much content to cover. So hopefully you haven't fallen asleep yet while you're watching this video, okay? But anyway, most of your videos will be pretty short. But you can expect maybe to spend an hour to two per week watching your videos. Doing your homework assignments, I am not trying to stress anybody out. but you will be writing your discussion post, your reading reflection, and completing your Google assignment. Your homework assignment should take between 1 to 2 hours. And then when you take a quiz, I've been able to kind of quantify the time frames that people take approximately, for the quizzes that I give, which most of the time are about 30 questions, something like that, sometimes 25 questions. They take about 30 minutes. So the quizzes will not take that long. I mean, your final quiz might take a little bit longer because there are more points. There's 50 questions on the final. But your quizzes typically will take approximately 30 minutes. And this is something to consider if you are somebody who is not really good at time management. It's really important that you start organizing your days so that you can get through part one. I advise you to try to get through part one maybe by Wednesday, get through part two by Friday, and complete your assignments, over the weekend. I know everybody's schedule is different. So, may not work out that way for everybody, but this is a general kind of ballpark of what you might want to do so that you can be successful in this class. This is your grade distribution chart. It's also found in your course syllabus. But just to give you a breakdown of your total requirements to pass this course, you will have 5 total discussion posts. They are worth 20 points each. That represents 20% of your final grade. You will have 5 reading reflections worth 20 points each. Again, 20% of your grade. Your module activities or your Google activities, 5 total, 20 points each, 20% of your grade. 2 quizzes worth 50 points each, 20% of your grade one more time. And also a final quiz, which is worth 100 points. That represents 20% of your grade as well. So you really should not forget to take the final quiz. Your total amounts of point possible in this class is 500, and hopefully all of you will be in that ballpark. I love to give A's. It hurts my heart. Actually, it hurts my heart to give anything less than a B, all right? But this is how it is. This is how it breaks down, folks. If you have any questions, let me know. As I conclude this recording, I want to remind you that as human beings, we are stronger together than we are individually. I hope to establish a communal culture in this course in which you make connections with each other and learn from each other and reach out to each other. As the weeks go by, you're going to learn who you like to respond to and whose perspectives really impress you or who you admire. And I encourage you to reach out to each other and make friends and possibly even get to know each other through emails or outside of the classroom. That's what this course is all about, nurturing connections between human beings so that we can understand that we're really more alike than we are different. And I want everybody to feel great about being a part of this classroom community. Well, I feel like I've been talking your ear off. This is a super long recording. Again, the longest recording probably of the semester. But I hope that you have found it beneficial. I hope you feel confident and ready to get going and to move forward with our Module 1 content. If you have any questions, email me, please, ASAP. I'm here for you. And I'm always happy to respond to you. I will try to respond to you ASAP to calm down your nerves, to reassure you that you got this and you're going to be okay. And, any questions that you have, don't hesitate because that's how we learn. Yeah? All right, everyone. Peace out. Take care. This is Dr. H telling you to have a wonderful week. And I can't wait to start learning about you and learning with you as we navigate Ethnic Studies 34, Intro to Chicana, Chicano Studies, and Ethnic Studies 35, Intro to Black and African American Studies. Have a wonderful week, everybody.